Hey y'all, welcome back. Episode 7 of season 2 of Man and Musings podcast. Tonight we're gonna fly by the seat of our pants a little bit. So we were gonna have a wrestling episode. We're gonna have Leland, we're gonna have Joe Mack, we're gonna have Cyrus. Well, as you can see if you're watching on YouTube and your earballs are hearing the lovely voice of Cyrus, he was able to join us. Joe Mack was taking care of his little new puppy. Leland had some family things come up, so we wish him the best with those things going on with his life. We're here for you, buddy, no matter what. But we were going to talk wrestling. We're not going to talk wrestling right now. We're going to save that for another time. So we're just going to have a hell of a time tonight. We might be on for 30 minutes. We might be on for 40 minutes. We might be on for 2 hours. I have no idea. Cyrus is here. We'll probably talk basketball. We'll probably talk, definitely touching on the World Cup if you guys have watched any of it. I want to talk about Kyrie Irving because he's the most hated man in the NBA, as he should be. And I think what we should really do tonight is we have 2 upcoming episodes of We Out Here between the 3 of us. I want to talk about that stuff. I think that's going to be Kevin, we got like 10 days.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited. And then I have another 30 days until I do one with Cyrus.
And
Cyrus
then
will have his debut.
And then you have another 30 days after that for the hockey one.
I'm very excited for that one. I'm very excited for that hockey one.
That will be so much fun. I'm actually waiting on my hockey jersey to come in. I messaged the kid, I think a couple days ago, and he's like, everything got held up because of the storm in Buffalo. So apparently all his stuff came from Canada, but he was like unboxing some of this stuff today on live on Instagram. Ooh, baby.
Was one of them yours?
No, not yet. They're all coming in this week. So I should have my jersey by the beginning of December. Do not worry.
And you got the Islanders reverse retro one, right?
Yeah, the all blue jersey with the blue fisherman on. Oh my God. I cannot wait for that jersey.
I was thinking about just buying one so I can match with you.
Do it. We'll walk around looking like all the
fake
other
Islander fans. I love it.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
You know the funny thing, I've never been a jersey guy. Like I have a couple of jerseys, and I do have to actually upgrade my 49ers jersey because the ones I have are not the company that I was with Kev, which make a better brand jersey than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Which are you talking about? You have like Reebok jerseys and not
yeah, I
Nike
didn't want to
jerseys.
say the name. Come on, man, I didn't want to.
It's okay. Hey, you know what? It's okay. The Reebok jerseys when we were little kids, those things were dope because you could destroy them. You did not care.
Yeah, but I have a Jerry Rice one. My wife got me when I first started dating, the white one. Which is now again, getting a white jersey is like a rare thing. You don't normally get a white jersey for the sheer reason of you don't want to get
it
dirty or anything on it. So I know I have to upgrade at least 2 because I want a Jerry Rice jersey. I want a white one. I'm toying with getting the Kittle jersey. I was supposed, yeah,
yes.
I was supposed to get a my best friend got married. He got a hookup. He was going to get a Joe Montana jersey for me, but that fell through. But so I mean, it's like 4 jerseys I want to get: Ronnie Lott, Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, and possibly Steve Young or Kettle. I want to get 4. I know I'm not going to wear them, but I want to get 4, and I'm probably just get rid of the other 2. I mean, I think I have Terrell Owens jersey too, but
that's a classic jersey. T.O. I mean, T.O. is still the GOAT. I think I saw a highlight where he was at one of Deion Sanders' camp for his college kids, and he just schooled the starting defensive back. Incredible.
Cyrus, you're very lucky you don't have Instagram. This picture, Kevin. I'm like, eh. Kevin's like, and Cyrus down here got his hands across like this. Like, what? God, these are always the worst pictures.
No, ever. Last week I got a good photo of you. Even though you were feeling like shit.
Until I went and threw up for 10 minutes. Like
I seen that. What was going on there?
I had the stomach bug.
Oh,
So we went to West Virginia
okay.
the last weekend,
Right.
not this past one, but the one before. And we stayed with our friends who told us their daughter had gotten sick at daycare.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking we may have potentially gotten whatever happened
Okay.
there. Just her daughter had the stomach bug or something, and
Mm.
my wife had it. She got it Sunday night, like early Monday morning, and then she was all curled up on the couch all Monday. Monday we recorded. I felt great Monday. I went to the gym. I did my normal routine. I worked. And then around 8 o'clock ish, 7:30 ish, my stomach just dropped and I went, oh no. Oh no. So I'm like talking to Kevin and Lauren, going, I might have to excuse myself. Yeah, that happened a couple of times, but Kevin held forth and did a good job with everything. It was a very well done episode, I have to say.
Seen that. I was just wondering. I just like you popped off a couple times. Like, okay, all right, well,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. That was probably one of our fastest episodes we ever did.
It was, and I feel bad because like there was things I want to ask, but I also didn't know if I could talk without anything coming.
That would have been a moment if you and be like, hey, I gotta hold on. And then I'm like, all right, well, we'll come back to him. But
all of a sudden I just grabbed the trash can underneath my desk.
My gosh.
Oh,
but yeah, that we had a good time last week. It was like our little break from the sports side for a little bit, and just to give our viewers and listeners something a little bit different, which I thought was really fun. I had a good time when I listened to it back. I had a good time. It was fun.
Oh yeah, I liked it. It was definitely a good one. All right, so let's talk about the biggest thing in the world that's going on at this point in time. Probably this is all going to be the weekly sports update episode, and we're all just going to talk over each other and yell. Sounds and good. Probably scream. Maybe, I don't know. We might that might happen.
Yeah.
But the World Cup, it's going on in Qatar or Qatar. I've heard it be called like both.
Read it for the end. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. It's something.
So if you don't know what's going on in Qatar and you've never heard of this country smaller than the state of Connecticut, first off, it's smaller than Connecticut. That's interesting. Secondly, they built this all up in 6 years and have lost, I think they said like hundreds of thousands of people because of the heat that's in Qatar during the summer. That's why the World Cup right now is being played during the winter. I'm not complaining because it's cool to still watch during this time of year. But if they played in the summer, they wouldn't be able to touch the field.
Yeah.
And anyone that has a media pass, anyone that has credentialing, anything like that, is getting stopped by security. The security guards are not allowing them to do anything. They're not doing their job, letting them do their jobs. Plus, they are very much against people that are, out. I don't want to say this in the wrong pretext, that are gay, lesbian, transsexual. They do not agree with that type of mentality.
Right.
They're not open-minded like I would say 70% of the world at this point. They kind of live back in olden times.
Right.
A USA soccer reporter was detained before the start of the U.S. soccer game yesterday because he had a soccer shirt and had a soccer ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just had a rainbow around it. There's no political side to it. He just wore it because he liked the shirt. Well, they took it as a political sign, and security stopped this guy and said, you have to take that shirt off. You cannot wear that. It's a political view that we do not agree with, so you cannot have that on. And the guy's like, I'm wearing this because I'm wearing it. You are not stopping me. So they detained him for 30 minutes, and then they came out and they actually had like another security guy come and get him and be like, no, they are allowed to wear this stuff.
Mm.
They're not protesting. They're not saying anything.
Right.
It's different if like Kane or the guys from the U.S. wore the all the armbands, the captain's armbands that are supposed to be the flower of the rainbow. That's different. They're giving them out yellow cards or potential arrests for that. So that's the downside of Qatar. Thoughts? Like, holy crap.
You know what? I heard I was watching ESPN and I think I can't remember his last Taylor something. Well, it starts with a T. He was sort of talking about this and he was like, this is how corrupt FIFA is. And he's like, you would think that FIFA wouldn't. He said FIFA is not as bad as the IOC, which is the Olympic committee.
one.
Yeah, the Olympic committee is a lot worse. He said, but FIFA is like, you just don't know how Qatar got how Qatar got a chance to get this.
Even the former FIFA president said this was the wrong thing to do.
Yeah,
and he was the one that gave it to him.
And they said that they gave France. They gave France. France actually turned people's votes. There were votes that were in. They turned the votes, and what they did was they sort of said something. They did something with France, something about buying something or buying some merchandise or something like that from France in order to turn the vote around. I'm like, how do you allow this to happen? Like, I mean, listen, I get it. You might not want to go to different countries, and that's the way it's always been, and it's been like that for over 100 years. I get that, right? Nobody's saying that that's not wrong, but at some point in time, you got to come in the world. We have to sort of come to a realization, like, yes, maybe having it in New Zealand is the place to have it. Maybe having it in the US is the place to have it. Maybe having it in a place where it's culturally, I guess, diverse. Yes, yeah. is the right thing to do. You can't have it in these third world countries that don't really want to conform to it, don't want the people in. You're grabbing people in from all over the place to come watch these, from Europe, Asia, US, wherever, to come watch these games, and you can't have this type of. I guess, like I said, I'm trying to say it to sound nice, but like, you just don't want to have that type of feel coming into your country. Like, you want people to come into your country. This is the whole point of having it here, so you can get people to come into your country.
Because I feel like I keep it from everybody that talks about this World Cup that, like, this was, like, out of all places to have it, you decide to have it in Qatar. It's like a country, and from what I understand, they spent like hundreds and millions of dollars to try and support this World Cup, and like, I believe the country isn't
the infrastructure wasn't even done. Like, the roads to the stadiums weren't done until like 2 weeks prior to everything happening.
No, they didn't even set up. They said there was supposed to be like some sort of carnival, like, interactive thing. They said it's basically two cots in a net.
It's Fire Fest or whatever it was all over again.
Yeah. Damn it, freaking Ja Rule.
But yeah, so it's just like, I hear from a lot of like people that like soccer, and they're like, it's so bizarre to have the World Cup in Qatar, just from the fact that a country like that couldn't support such an event that's so big, and that, like, for example, right now we are currently in the middle of like Premier League season, so you're pulling a bunch of these star players away from their main teams where they make their main money to come to the World Cup, because it's only every 4 years. So the fact that they decided to have it in Qatar, is just a bizarre decision. And we'll see what happens at the end of it. But, World Cup coming in the next 4 years is going to be coming to America, which is going to be super exciting.
Going to some games.
And for us in the area, the final game is supposed to be at MetLife Stadium, which is going to be. Yeah, the final games are going to be held at MetLife Stadium. So,
Mary, if we know somebody that works there, maybe we could find a way to get tickets or get in.
Maybe he needs to stay there for the next 5 years.
Maybe.
I wonder who that is.
I don't know.
I mean, I know. I wonder who that is too.
I don't know.
That person's been there for like the last
I
10
don't.
years and
Yeah,
hasn't
you
even
know,
been able
another
to get any tickets
yeah,
or
another 3 or
anything.
4. That wouldn't hurt
No,
nobody.
I think he'd be fine. I
Yeah.
think you could finagle something.
We'll
Yeah.
email them. We'll
Yeah,
email
yeah,
'em.
yeah. We'll
Yeah,
shoot
yeah,
an email to
definitely
him.
do
We'll,
that.
we'll
Yeah.
definitely do that.
Yeah.
No, I seriously cannot wait for that to be here. I've already talked to my buddy Jeff, who's been on the podcast, and a couple other friends. We are going to Gillette Stadium, going to go to MetLife. We'll probably go to whatever the stadium is where the Eagles play, because that's where those
Lincoln
are the
Financial.
Link
Yeah,
Financial.
those
Those are the
yeah,
three
'cause
closest to
yeah,
us.
well, those are the 3 largest ones in the area. The Link, Giant Stadium, or whatever they MetLife,
Yeah,
and
Gillette.
and Gillette is the 3 largest because they all actually had like the friendly soccer games there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they've all had friendlies there. They've all and US or the Gillette actually has the Revolution play there. So they have an MLS team that plays in
Yeah.
that area. So plus your infrastructure is the only thing that Gillette needs to do is figure out the roads. Because if you have been to Foxborough, Massachusetts, going to a game there sucks. Mainly because of parking and the roads. So the roads, it's a 4-lane highway with a big old barricade in the middle. So it's 2 lanes on each side. And that's it. And that's all you have for miles. It is not fun. So I think they'll get that figured out. Cyrus, are you still there? You're frozen on our end. Uh-oh. Kevin, I think we lost him.
Oh, no, he's moving.
Woo!
Cyrus, can you hear us?
yeah.
There you go. There you
All
go.
right, cool,
You're good.
cool.
You're
So
good. You're good.
Cyrus
You're good.
has a technical difficulties tonight. Thank God. Not me or Kevin.
Yeah. We're better now. I don't know why that happened. That was weird.
It's all
But-
good.
But so let's see what happened. England has destroyed Iran 6-2.
You missed today. Today is the
I'm
biggest
getting
one.
there. I'm getting there.
I'll let you get there.
I'll
Let me
get
let
there.
You get there.
You know what, Kevin? When we get there, I'm gonna throw that ball over. I'm gonna kick the ball over to you or volley it over to you. Okay? You gotta head it.
No. You gotta free kick it to me.
Well, I'll volley it. Do you not know what a volley is?
Is that a thing in soccer?
Yes.
Yes.
A volley is just like a
I don't know,
high arching
guys.
pass. Like
All right,
a
go
nice,
ahead.
easy high arching pass. To you.
Follow me, and I'll hit it with my bald head.
I don't know which will be the ball, your head, which one is which, because
Exactly, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
So no. Then the US played. The first half was phenomenal. They looked great, unstoppable, scored their lone goal. First goal they've scored in a World Cup in 8 years. First time in a long time. Then they come out against the Welsh in the second half. Or Wales, sorry, they played Wales. And they decide to basically play for the tie. How I watched it. And now I'm just a spectator. From what I've heard, they still fought. And yes, you could see it. They were still fighting, but it just felt like they stepped off the gas. Instead of just like pressing down and just going full throttle and going through the team, they stopped. So they ended up tying 1-1, which is fine. We got a point out of it. Problem is, in 3 days' time, we're going to play the team that has scored the most goals so far in this World Cup, England. And they look nasty. But like Kevin kind of quickly mentioned, the biggest surprise, and I'm going to volley this right over to him right now. He's going to throw this, head this right into the net. So let's see what he's got.
I really hope I don't miss. But the biggest that I've heard today is the favorite of Argentina with all those stars got upset by Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
I was actually out to lunch with my parents, and we're like, holy shit, that just happened.
Well, it happened at like 5:00 this morning.
Well, we saw the highlights. That's why
Yeah.
I found out. So I was like, oh shit, Saudi Arabia just beat Argentina. That is crazy. So that was a hell of a I saw the goal on the highlights, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy that Argentina just lost like that. Because now they're gonna have their work cut out for them. Because now they're gonna have to at least win 2 out of the 3.
They have
The next 2.
Is it double elimination or is it single this time?
Single elimination.
Single elimination.
So basically, it's group play right now.
Right.
So we have 30. It's 32 teams right now.
Right.
And the top 2 from each group move on. Right now, Argentina is sitting at the bottom because Mexico and Poland tied 0-0. So they got a point. Saudi Arabia has 3 points. Argentina's got none. Argentina needs to win.
Now, does it matter if they win big, how many points they get, or they just got to win?
They just have to win.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if England scored 6 goals, which is great. But the only way that would matter is say there's like a 3-way tie, which basically would be almost impossible unless you tied every game.
Right.
Then they would look at the point differentials. How many points did you score? How many points you give up? And whatever's the difference.
Right, that makes sense.
But yeah, that was the biggest surprise. France destroyed Australia this afternoon. And then tomorrow, tomorrow I'm actually waking up at 4:30 in the morning and driving to my buddy's house to watch a soccer game. Yeah, I'm going to watch Croatia because he's Croatian. So I told him I would go watch the game with him, and then I'll go to the gym. I'll do my normal routine.
There you go.
And then go to work.
5 a.m. Shout out to the dedication. I love it.
Dude, I've texted him so many times and be like, I'm confirming you are going to be up. He's like, yep, I'll be up. I'm like, okay. Because I'm not driving 20 minutes to your house to try to get in your house and you not be awake.
No, I don't blame you.
Because then I would be mad.
What's it called? So what's the record of US? It's just they have a tie, right?
Yeah, they're 0-0-1.
Okay. Because I don't know why, whatever website this is totally has them have like 1 loss, which doesn't make any damn sense.
No, they didn't lose.
Because their next game is, I'm assuming, is this Friday against England, right?
Yep, at 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
But see, if I'm the U.S., that's the way I look at it, right? There's a bunch of young guys on the team. From what I've read and what I've seen, again, I'm not the you just
they're
saw
the
soccer
second.
star.
They're the second youngest team in the World Cup right now.
Right. So
Yep.
I would say, if anything, maybe try to look at it this way. It's an experience. The next time we do talk about the World Cup, they'll played together for 4 years, for most of them anyway. Obviously, there's going to be changes at some point in time, but most of them are going to play together. Either going to play on club teams or whatever it is at some point in time together with the next 4 years. Take it as an experience. Like I said, as a coach, I would say, don't go into it looking to try to say, I'm going to win everything, because you got to be realistic to some point. Let's go out there, do our best, whatever happens after group plays, after group play, and then go from there. I
think we can get out of group play.
I think so too.
No, I'm not saying that they can't. I think
they need to tie with England. They can't lose. They have to tie at the bare minimum with England,
right?
And then hope that Wales and
Iran
tie, or Iran beats Wales. Because if Wales wins, they'll have 4 points, and England will have 4 points, and we'll have 2, and Iran have 0. So then that would basically be like, okay, that would just put the pressure on that we have to win against Iran, and Wales most likely will lose to England. So we'd have to win, so we'd have that 1 point extra.
Yeah.
Right.
So things need to start playing in our favor more right now. It's not good to tie, especially in the group that we're in. It's a pretty competitive group.
Yeah.
But we still have a chance. We have to see what happens on Friday. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm going to be glued to the TV from 1:30 until 4:30, 5 o'clock watching that game. So
yeah, and from what I understand, this is like as young of a group this USA team is, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know too much. I do know there's like a couple of guys from the MLS on here. I think the best player is Pulisic. I is
Pulitsky,
correct.
yeah,
Yeah,
number
whatever
10.
his. Yeah. So I know he's the best player, our top player. Um. So I think it's super important to just make sure, like, oh yes, Christian Pulisic is the name. He's the midfielder. Um, I think it's just more or less to make sure that you have a good showing because, like we just talked about, this is coming to the U.S. in 4 years, and if this team can at least show that we're competitive, then I think it would be best. Then we can set us up to be a really good contender for when it comes in 2026.
Hey, we're right now. I think we're ranked number 18 in the world.
Mm.
That's pretty dang good for a U.S. team.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, women's, it's always number one because they're
number 1,
Yeah,
absolutely crushing it.
They dominate everything when it comes to soccer. Our men's team, not so much. Kevin, this I'm going to throw at you.
Go ahead.
So, do we fire him now or do we wait till Saturday at 8:00 at night?
Well, if that happens at 8 o'clock at night, you know that you and I are gonna have to jump on and do a quick recap.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But,
what are your thoughts? Because I don't know.
Cyrus, if you're not sure what we're talking about West Virginia's football coach.
Yeah, I figured
Neil
that.
Brown.
So it's like, God.
Right now, so I listened to his press conference today, and I saw the notes and everything, and I think, truth be told, I think he's getting ready for the Wild West to happen. It sounded to me that it's like he's already preparing for the worst, and he is going to try to do his best to just focus on the field and then let whatever happens possibly happen after the game on Saturday or at 8 o'clock on Saturday. Because the one thing is whatever happens, we can't have it be the Wild West in which players are getting calls from other teams and transferring here and out and all around, or else we're going to end up having to get people off the street to go play for us. So I think at the moment, it's just the writings on the wall. Like I'm at to the point now where I think there's a mutual understanding all across the board that we are going to have a change happening, and we are going to be in for a long road for the next couple of years, depending on
when did he become coach?
4 years.
4 years ago.
All right, so especially in football, it's tough. It's tough to walk into a program, and if you're not an elite coach, it's tough to walk in without being in, because normally as an elite coach, there's the one thing that every elite coach has. They have a game plan. They have a system. They have a game plan. They have everything set regardless of who is there, because they have every variety of of offensive, defensive philosophy, and they can find they can make changes, they can adapt. The thing I would say is, if this guy has never done it before, he was probably doomed from the beginning, because there's no way that he was going to turn that program around without having that type of elite status if he wasn't that type of elite coach.
No, he came in from an FCS school where he was very, very good. It was a very quick hire because Dana left at the end of the season, and all of a sudden you have to get a new head coach right away because you have to start planning for the next year. The biggest news, though, talking about college football coaches is apparently on Friday or Saturday after Ole Miss's final football game of the year.
I've seen that.
Oh my God.
Lane Kiffin is packing his bags and going to Auburn.
He ain't going, man. Don't listen to that. He ain't going.
Dude, I don't understand this man.
He
Like,
ain't going.
I watched the game where he got fired
He's not going.
at USC.
They told him not to get on the bus.
Yeah. They flew back to LA and he got off the plane and they told him, get out. You're not coming back. Just get your own ride to your office and clean out.
Well, that was because he rubbed somebody the wrong way on that USC thing. He rubbed people the wrong way.
I mean, he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Like do you remember what's the move that when he went to USC? Where was he? In Tennessee? There was a one move where that he really pissed everybody.
Tennessee. When he was at Tennessee, and then he went to USC.
Yeah.
Then from USC he went to the Raiders.
Yeah,
and then from the Raiders,
FAU.
And he was at FAU for a good amount of time, like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. Well, so let me say this way, right? When you go to those FBS, if it's not Power 5 school, right? You can go to those schools and you can make a difference because you can get the kids to play hard and you can get some marginal talent. So again, it's not like you're playing a top 5 school every week. You're playing, everybody is the same as you. Maybe they have 1 or 2 players that are probably better than your best 1 or 2 players. That's what it is, right? When you get to the top 5, when you get to them Power 5 schools and the top 5 schools, right? It's really tough to beat them. You know why? Because everybody's going out for the same recruit and everybody has that same type of player. So the only difference is not unless you're a really elite coach, i.e., Nick Saban in Alabama, Kirby Smart in Georgia, some of these other elite programs with elite backing or elite coaches. I mean, look at Oregon, for God's sakes. Oregon was doing great when they had the one coach that left, and he was
Chip Kelly. But they rebounded though. They
have rebounded with every single one of their head coaches has all been successful, I think, except for one, and they've all left to go to bigger programs.
And you know what? They've had the same formula. What they've done, they've gone back to the well to make sure they get guys that just go out and play hard because they know in the Pac-10. Everybody's talent in the Pac-10 was diminishing because everybody was going
to Pac-12.
Pac-12, sorry.
Jeez, it is going to be the Pac-10 after USC. UCF. He was just getting ready to be used to saying Pac-10.
Right.
It's not even. That's not conference. Not even gonna.
It might be the
anymore.
Pac-6 soon enough.
It might be. Yeah.
But as you can see, right, the writing's on the wall about those coaches, right? Not unless you're an elite coach that comes in there, it just doesn't work. It's the same. You know what? Honestly, think about it. It's the same thing in basketball as it is in football. If you're not an elite coach at any level, it's going to be hard for you to walk into a job and last. Again, you'll have maybe players from the last regime and maybe you'll get over. But once you get your type of players in and you start to lose that talent, it becomes, I guess you really don't work that good. Nah, right. He's a good coach. He's a motivating coach, but he's not. He's not
at this level.
Right.
It's not a different level.
Right.
Also, one other thing you also have to understand is we're in a different time of college athletics where the transfer portal is just open and about. I think one of the things that, specifically West Virginia has had a problem is they have just been eaten up by the transfer portal. It's like people have literally come to us. They played good for us while here, and they take their talents to try and showcase at another level.
Yep. And they've all failed.
Exactly. All of them have failed so far. So with that, I think the one thing is, with Coach Brown, came from a good pedigree, good culture guy. He got a great culture guy. But the problem is that, when you don't, this is a results driven field.
Right.
When you don't get results,
it's like any job.
Yeah, there's no chance. And then, it all comes from the top. So our athletic director, who we fired, decided to give our coach an extension
after year
after year 3, and he was only like
It
11
was
and 11.
500
Yeah.
or something
So,
like that.
he had no results to give him that. I think he jumped the gun. And then also, which I actually had never really thought about, but like we have overscheduled for us
Oh yeah.
as like there is no other team that's playing 2 like Power 5 conferences in their non-conference. Like
Next year we
no
play
one else is.
Pitt and Penn State.
And Penn State.
The following year we play Penn State, Alabama. The following year we play Alabama and somebody else. Like
we overscheduled, and like it's great to have like one of those schools, but then you need to balance it where you're going to be able to get wins because we're in a conference that's tough to win in. So shout out to the athletic director for believing in competition, but if nobody else is doing that, you got to cater to everybody else.
Because I was not feeling 100% last week, I couldn't talk about this. I'm so glad they got rid of him.
It's unfortunate, and it's funny because now he got hired his old job back in Alabama.
Yeah,
shout out to him.
Hey, good for him. Went back to his roots.
But,
go do your shit. But
I think what's going to be key is this athletic director, as he needs to hire the right football coach, and now he's also in control of
the next
what's he going to do
coach
to protect men's basketball when Bob Huggins retires, because that's going to be his next big move. And if he screws that up, he or she screws that up, we're going to have a huge problem. The fan base is not going to be happy.
You cannot. And there's one person in all of Morgantown that you do not piss off is Bob Huggins.
Oh yeah, you don't. That guy is
he's a sweetheart. I've met him. I've talked with him. He's a great man.
Oh,
he drove by his house.
But like honestly, I have seen him like get so mad. He's like just in someone's face yelling and chewing somebody out, and it's like, nope, not doing this. Okay, I'm going the other direction now.
I remember seeing him on he was on Key J and Max in the morning, and they had him come in, and they were doing him and who's Baylor, the Baylor coaches, Bryce Drew came in, and they were sitting there talking, and they were joking around. But when Max asked him a really serious question, he said, listen, my job is to come there and coach and to get these guys ready when they leave here, whether they graduate, do whatever, they need to leave here being real world ready. I'm not looking to sugarcoat. Like, no, he's not looking to sugarcoat it for you screw up,
Yeah,
because they were talking about the NIL rule and some other stuff, and like, what would you do if a player was like he wanted to transfer portal? And
Cyrus froze. Of course,
Cyrus, you were in a great point there.
Oh man, why?
Oh, it's the week. It's madness.
It's Thanksgiving. We'll talk about Thanksgiving. I forgot about that. Oh my god.
Yeah, we can talk about Thanksgiving as well.
This is the biggest hodgepodge episode, everyone. So sorry for your ears. But Cyrus will hopefully be back here momentarily. He's frozen. It's kind of funny. But I think what he was kind of talking about was, Bob Huggins is not the coach like Calipari, where Calipari makes.
Cyrus, can you hear us?
There you go. You're back. Okay.
Yeah.
Go back to your point. Yeah. You're making a great point.
All right.
Yeah, I think I was butchering it.
So no, I'm just saying, Nick, he was saying that he doesn't want to sugarcoat it. He's not trying to get these kids to come in and say, I'm going to give you all this money and everything. He's saying, I'm trying to get them to come in to understand this is what it is. This is what this is what it is. I'm just want to help and try to do. And even Jay Will was like, that's the way it should be for every coach. But they don't, some coaches don't understand that. And I think they got on the thing like Kirby Smart said, or not Kirby Smart, with who's the guy at Texas A&M?
Jimbo
football
Fisher?
Coach?
Yeah, they used to coach in Alabama.
Jimbo.
Jimbo Fisher. Yeah, they said, he says stuff like that, and it just seems like, even though they misconstrued, they misconstrued it really what the point was, because obviously there was another question behind it, but that was that was the thing that they were trying to, say, like, you don't want to, but it just like the NIL thing all the way over, right? If we didn't screw it up the first time around, if we had just got it right as far as giving the stipends out and giving enough money to the college player to be able to, you know, survive. And I'm not saying that they're not getting enough, but from what I was hearing, it's not enough money to survive a year, when they're asking you to wake up and do early morning workouts and do this and do that and everything else, right? It's just that tough. And then they're telling you can't get a job in the summer. You can't do this. You can't do that. So the rules are antiquated enough where they didn't help anybody out. And somebody said this time, it's enough is enough, because you got players dying of heat exhaustion, not eating square meals, mental things going on because they just don't have time to, woosah, or, people breathing down their back because, you need to pay for this, you need to pay for that, you don't have enough money for this and have enough money for that, and people leaving to go to school, like people leaving to go away to school early when they really shouldn't, because they're not ready yet.
Yeah.
Because
and that's what it is. Like when we talk about coach, like he lets you know, like, everything you're going to get, I'm going to give you every opportunity to work for everything that you can get.
Yeah.
But you have to put in the work. If you're not going to be willing to, then our program isn't for you.
And a great example of this the other night, the kid that, he's a sophomore, he'll be getting better. But they asked him after the game, the reporters, and they said, well, he didn't play. And he goes, was he hurt? No, wasn't hurt, wasn't injured. He just didn't want to prepare for this game. I think it was against Morehead State or somebody. Like it was a wash up game for us anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But he came out and said that. And the kid after the game, he apologized to his teammates for how he handled during the week. But then they caught him running the stairs at the Coliseum. And Kevin knows this Coliseum like the back of his hand, like I do. Those stairs are very, very steep.
Mm.
And he ran from the bottom from the court all the way up and all the way through the whole Coliseum for punishment.
That is not fun.
And I will say this. That's the type of player. He may not play a lot. He may not win a lot of games for you. He may only score you 5 points a damn game. But that's what I want to see on that team. I don't want like the guys who just want the NIL money. Right. But that's a good point though with NIL. That's part of the reason that Shane Lyons was let go, is because he was not as keen on the NIL deals as other athletic directors have become.
He wasn't prepared also.
Right. And they said that he has followed things so by the book with things that has actually been detrimental to getting deals done with other places. Like, yes, West Virginia, there's not a lot there for deals. But if you can find something, it's going to be a big deal. Like, there's car dealerships, go after them. They're going to pay the money. They know that they can get you to do it. So I hope whoever is the new athletic director is high on those. The NIL deals can help expand those for our student athletes, not just football, but all student athletes.
I mean, hell, did you see, Merritt, the date that there's some people that are literally going to like food chains to try to get NIL deals so they can get free vouchers for like free food whenever they want, just so they don't literally have to go. I go to the hoagie shop, or I go to the hoagie shop around the corner, get an NIL deal. The deal is, okay, listen, come in, you get a free meal every 2 days or whatever it is. Boom, done deal. I mean, now the person never has to. And it's like a softball player or something like that. Like
it's like, I just have to promote this on my Facebook, my
social
Instagram,
media,
my social media,
right?
Like twice a week, and I'll come. Okay, cool. Whenever I come in to get food, even if I'm buying it out of my own pocket, I will post something saying, "Hey, hit it up," blah blah, whatever it is. And then on the days that it's free, I still do the same thing. But I have to, and you can put it as you need to eat here.
Right.
People need to see you here.
Right.
Because that drives their business, which then can increase your NIL deal.
Right.
I'm intrigued on what they're going to do. I was listening to the 304 section 304 podcast, and they were talking about Lions being fired, and they were all very happy about it. But then they also mentioned it's hard to fire an athletic director and then try to find you a new coach all at once.
Yeah. It should have been the reverse if they were, or the same time.
But it's nearly impossible. So, yes, you might have a new athletic director come in like a month or so. That's a month behind the 8 ball for us. That means it's the end of December. No one's going to look at coaches right there because everyone's just winding down from the seasons, from the bowl games. You're getting ready for the big bowl games. You're not going to have time to really communicate with anybody. So maybe, and this sucks for me to say, because I am no longer a supporter of our head coach. We might have to have him around for his 5th year.
I mentioned that.
I know. Shut up.
I mentioned that.
You know how bad that Pitt game's going to be if he has to be the head coach?
Yeah, well, what's worse? Having to have him as a head coach or having to have to pay him that X amount of money and not have enough money to hire a coach?
Well, all depends. Like,
they figure it out.
Well, here's the thing. If the team as presently constructed, if the team isn't let's say a top 10 team, we're not going to say top 25. I was just say if it's not a top 10
we're not even
team,
a top 25 team, so you could say top 25.
Right, but let's just say let's just say for philosophical sake,
philosophical.
If you go for like a top 10 talent team, right, and you're not there, right, I will leave him there. The reason is because the worst he could do right now is he goes in and he blows it up big and he's a top 5 team and he's doing very well. That's the worst that could happen. The best deal breaker in the world, you stay status quo. You graduate some guys that should graduate because they worked hard enough, and you get him through the season. In the meantime, you get you another athletic director in there that understands what he's doing. He'll give him the rest of the year. He'll figure out what he's doing with the rest of the stuff that's going on in the school.
Right.
And at that time, he can make a reevaluation of how he wants to handle things. Right. That way, you give him time to not have to necessarily worry about the football stuff, but then you can start worrying about the stuff that really, at this point, means something because it's actually worth something at this point. I'm not saying that the football team's not, but obviously, if they're not that talented, this is exactly what's going to happen anyway. So, it just listen. Look at it this way. I tell you, I'm a Duke fan, right? Just like the Duke football team, right? That football team hasn't been good in God knows how long, right? But they also know that they're not a football school. But what they have done, they've said, listen, they gave Cundiff as long as he wanted to be the head coach, as long as you don't screw anything up, you don't put us in any type of legal situations or anything like that. You can become coach because we know we're not a football school.
That's pretty hard for him too.
I mean, he's a really good coach offensively, but he's a really good coach. So, he could have been poked away anytime to somebody's OC someplace. He's just like, no, I'll stay here, grow these guys. I mean, and listen, we'll be halfway decent a couple of years here and there, but and then when he finally left, they said, listen, we'll start trying to work on making our team better. Boom. Nothing you can really say about that. There's nothing wrong with that. Not every school is supposed to be the best. So, you would like that to be. I mean, for God's sakes, I went to a college that didn't even have a football team.
That must have sucked.
The basketball team was good.
Well, you were part of it.
I tried out for the Rider University basketball team. I'm not saying I was part of it. I was a part of it to a degree. Yes, I agree, Matt. You're right.
All right. Let's get off of this West Virginia train for a while. It's gonna
Well, hold on. Before we get off,
we
we are going to enjoy this Thanksgiving night with Dub V
I know, but
playing in
I'm
the same tournament as Duke.
probably not going to
defeating
watch it because
Miami.
the Patriots are on that night too.
Just have two TVs going on.
I'm going to be at my friend's house.
Tell him to have another TV out for us.
And
So
they're
we
going
can
to put
watch
soccer
both.
on. So I'll watch it on my phone.
Well, then tell him to put a laptop out for you so
I'll
you can
watch
have
it on my
another.
phone. I'll have it on my phone.
All
Yep.
right. Well, enjoy it on your
We're
phone.
playing what? We got Purdue on Thursday?
Purdue. And then afterwards, if we win, then it's probably Gonzaga. And then if we win that somehow, then we play Cyrus's Duke's team.
You know what though? After the goose egg that Gonzaga laid against Texas and how they've been playing this year, it could be possible that this West Virginia team could win.
Give us a shot.
A lot of Gonzaga talent did leave last year in the draft. So I mean, the last couple years in the draft. So I mean, he has. I don't know. Like I said, he's listen. Like you said, it was like you said when we talked about it on when we talk about college basketball. It's really tough that I can't see him. Like you say, he's not athletically better than everybody else. So it's going to be tough for that team to win. Not unless he's playing in this conference, because he could beat the teams in this conference. He's not going to do it against his teams that are more athletic to him. It's just not going to happen.
And West Virginia, from everything that I've read, everything that I've seen on highlights, this is probably one of the best scoring and most athletic teams that Huggins has had.
This is as of a Huggins team, literally.
And they all play defense and they all rebound. Like, that's the thing that Huggins has always been drawn into. Playing defense, getting the damn ball. We'll figure out the offensive side of things later.
Right.
That'll come. But like, now they have all of it clicking. Yes, please. I will be very, very happy. I'm still shocked they haven't been in the top 25 yet, because, you know,
they normally don't start really trying to put those teams in until like after the Thanksgiving tournaments and all that stuff, because like it's so random, and you get like
so stupidly random.
Yeah, it's so random in like the first couple games.
Let's be honest. UNC should not be number one team after how they've played.
I listen. I was surprised Duke was still in the top 10 after losing to Kansas, but the game was actually close, so I can't really say I'm not surprised. But I mean, it's still a loss nonetheless. So yeah.
We'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited for college basketball. It'll all be fun.
Yes, me too.
But let's get off this train. I'm gonna pull it into the station. We're gonna dock it for a little while. We're gonna let the wheels like cool off since they've been running red. And we'll talk about it again next week probably. And
we are gonna have basketball talk next week, because we will be having my buddy Jess come on, and he is in charge of a tournament in Maryland called the Governor's Classic. So it's a high school basketball tournament. Cyrus,
for next week.
Yep. It's a high school basketball tournament over in like the eastern shore of Maryland, over in Wicomico. I think I said it right. But like, he's had some solid teams come through there. A couple of teams that are here. Let me go ahead and tell you a couple of teams.
I was going to say, does have like O'Hill Academy and all them other teams?
Dude, TCU stayed in the top 4.
Oh, amazing.
Thank God.
So a couple of teams you have that are of highly touted. You got Elizabeth, New Jersey. You have Bergen Catholic, Bishop Laughlin from New York. You have IMG Academy from Florida coming in.
Oh, that's
Does he have Brewster coming in there too? I thought I saw Brewster on that list.
Don't see Brewster. They have DeMatha from Maryland.
Dude, that's a really good program.
They also have the Patrick School from New Jersey. And if you remember the Patrick School, that's St. Patrick's, from where Kyrie Irving went to. A couple other ones. St. Peter's Prep, Wagner, New York.
Yeah, those are some good schools.
I'm trying to think. There was another one I saw that was a really big name. The
No Oak Hill.
no Oak Hill, but there's another one from like Maryland that I could have swore that's supposed to be coming. That's really good. I can't find it right now, but when I do, I'll make sure I talk about it next week.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, I'm excited. Jess is excited. He was really cool to come on. So it'll be around like 7:30 ish, like when we do it next week. So it'll be a good
That's
time.
fine. That's fine by me.
But yeah,
I'm always here.
we're gonna rock it out. Oh, here you go. Archbishop Ryan is supposed to be another one.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
that's a good school.
Okay.
That's a good
Yeah.
school.
That's some really good high school basketball right
Yeah,
there.
that is. That's gonna be a lot of. That's gonna be a lot of up and down.
That's a lot of powerhouses from the East Coast.
You got a lot. And there's a lot of top 50 kids on those teams too.
Yeah, probably a lot of top 100 kids too, because there's those kids that are going to be like that will probably make a name at this tournament.
Yeah,
yeah, a couple like I know, like I think one of the bigger names that came out of there, if you remember, Nicholas Claxton from the Nets, played over in that tournament. There was one other person, I forget who, but just he'll talk about it when he's most likely on. So, but yeah, definitely wanted to. He's gonna come on talk about it because his tournament starts the day after day after Christmas. So,
oh wow! So he's got the big Christmas turn. I won't lie. When I played high school basketball, Christmas tournaments were awesome.
Yeah.
I loved playing the Christmas tournaments. Those were so much fun.
yeah. Because you think about it, you had think about like high school basketball. You normally, well, now they start a little bit earlier now, but before it used to be the day after Thanksgiving. Everybody, that day after Thanksgiving, everybody had tryouts and everything else, and you had you had like 3 or 4 days of tryouts, and then you had like 2 weeks of actual like practice, and then you had like a little small tournament someplace in between, and then you had Christmas tournament, which is like the big tournament where everybody got to like actually see you play. And that's when you normally, as a coach, you normally get your rotations and everything in, and what you're going to do. Because by the time January hits, that's when like the media schedule starts happening. You get
you're in like 2 games a week. You're going back and forth.
Two games a week. You got practice. You got guys got injuries and stuff like that. So you start trying to, and then you fix your rotations by like February/March, so that way you can start getting in your stuff ready for like the state tournaments and stuff like that. And you start, because like I said, during those Christmas tournaments and everything else, you can go like 9 to like 14 deep trying to get guys in, see what they do and stuff like that, especially if you're any good. If you're getting blown out every game, everybody's obviously going to play. But I mean, if you can come in and get some time, get some burn, it's pretty good. So yeah, Christmas tournaments were the stuff back in high school. Yeah, I agree. That was
you just had fun.
Yeah.
It
didn't matter.
I have no experience. I never made a basketball team. So,
Kevin, I only made it because I was tall and I played defense.
I mean, if I was like 2 more inches taller and like people could see me, could
see me,
I would be out there. I swear, I tell people all the time, if I was like 5'7", I probably could be playing pro in the Philippines.
Barrett, basically what he's saying is Barrett, what he's basically saying is he has trouble when he's driving a car. People think,
dude, 100%, 100%. If I drove by Kevin while he was driving and looked over and I didn't see, I probably wouldn't see his head. Bro, I'd probably be like, how's that car driving?
God, you guys are ridiculous. This is eventually became the Kevin roast people. My God.
No, we're not roasting you. We're just
If you want us to do that one night,
can.
No.
we can. We definitely can do a roast episode. I like that idea. I think we should do a roast of the hosts.
Yeah, I like that.
Ooh. We could do that if you want.
Ooh, that rhymed too.
A roast of the hosts.
Yeah,
we can do one. We just invite a bunch of people to roast us.
Yeah.
Listen,
my God!
I can see Joe McAleela definitely having fun with that. Oh boy.
Oh my God.
Oh boy. Oof.
I'm gonna have to be very, very drunk for that one.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Eh.
Oh boy.
May have to get dressed up for that one too. Maybe
Oh
put
yeah,
maybe.
everyone needs to be like, you got to have a shirt and tie on for that one.
In no way am I showing up to this podcast in a shirt and tie. Oh my god, no. That's too much work. Too much.
Oh my god, I'm dying. I'm sorry. I'm dying over here. Oh god. Um so we have some fun stuff coming up in the next couple of months. I don't know where my episode of the We Out Here is at. I sent it all to Andrew. I don't know if it's up yet.
I didn't
It
see
isn't.
it.
I haven't
I
seen
haven't
it.
seen it.
Yeah, if
I'm gonna
I
just
haven't seen
quickly
it,
look.
definitely Cyrus hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
You definitely hit up our producer. He's probably super hardworking at school because it's probably like finals time.
Not finals yet.
Midterms, probably his midterms.
Yeah,
Probably
the
around his
midterms, right?
Midterms, yeah, his midterms.
That'll be like currently Meredith's texting our producer. Producer Andrew,
No,
this
I'm
is what
looking up.
happens.
I won't lie. I haven't watched one of those episodes yet.
You haven't watched any of our We're Out Here episodes?
Dude,
Oh my
no.
goodness.
I'm horrible, I know.
All right. Cyrus, have you
Yes.
watched them?
I've watched a couple of them. Yeah,
I did watch yours, Kevin. I did watch the majority of that one. Yeah, mine's not out there yet.
Okay. But yeah, do you want to tell everybody about the rest of our We're Out Here series of what we're doing?
Yes. So in about 10 days, Kevin and I will be taking on the Big Apple for a whole day.
Yes.
A whole day we are going to be in the city.
Yep.
I texted my cousin because he actually lives in Manhattan. So
lit.
maybe we'll see if we can catch up with him. But Kevin and I will probably go spend plethora of money going to the NBA store.
Yep.
And then we are
the
going
Nike store too. Probably go to the Nike store too.
potentially. Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Right. It's that there's that one road where on Fifth Avenue where there's literally every single type of like brand that like sporting shop.
Right.
Where it's like you pass the NBA store, next block NHL store, next
And
block,
then the MLB store.
Yeah, and all of them. Like, which
They're
I'm shocked that they haven't done an NFL store yet.
That's true. They don't have one.
Yeah.
I just thought they don't.
They don't have one, which they should, because I'm pretty sure
Headquarters
could
is
make some
literally
money.
in New York
Yeah.
City.
Yeah. But literally,
Actually,
that whole
all
road
are.
is every professional league and then every sporting brand. That's like right there.
Huh. And then after we do some fun shopping and buying stuff that we don't need, we're going to get on the train and we're going to hightail our butts over to Brooklyn. We are going to watch my Boston Celtics take on the trashiest team in the NBA, the Brooklyn Nets. And the worst point guard to ever play the game. And I'm not talking about Kyrie Irving. I'm talking about Ben Simmons.
He's so late. They still got him labeled as a point guard. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think he's labeled as he's not a shooting guard. He can't shoot for shit.
That's horrible.
Hey, good shooter on the Nets. Shout out to Yuta Watanabe.
Yeah.
He's been like one of the small bright spots the Nets have had.
58% from the 3-point.
That's ridiculous.
Dude. And I remember because he was on the same rookie class. The Grizzlies drafted Javon Carter, and they played together in the D League, the Memphis Grizzly Hustle. So, like, the way to see him work from, like, the bottom to come up, undrafted guy, went to a D League team, worked his way up, and then now he's, like, a starter on the Nets, which is awesome. So, if I can find his jersey, I think I would buy it.
I have a problem with that. I would see that. All right. See that.
Yeah, but so we're gonna see the Nets and Celtics.
Yep.
In December. So in like December, it's a Sunday, which will be fun. And then
Yes, sir.
right after that, then the end of January, we have our hockey game for the Islanders.
Yep.
Which I'm super excited because I gotta make sure
that'll
get
be
that day off.
the Golden Knights. We're gonna watch them play the Golden Knights.
Yep.
That'll be a lot of fun. And then
Yes, and then February 10th, Cyrus, would you like to tell them where you and I are going?
We are
whoop,
going to
whoop.
the Wells Fargo. It's still Wells Fargo. Yeah, the
Yes,
Wells
Yes,
Wells
Fargo
Fargo.
Center.
yeah, it's still
State.
Wells Fargo over there.
I know they keep changing them every year. It just never. So we're going to Wells Fargo to watch Kevin's Knicks play the Sixers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am neither nor a Knicks or a Sixers fan. I just happen to know people. Shout out to my fraternity brother Dan Brown, who
Shout out to
has
you, Dan Brown.
season tickets. Who is
Way to
you
go,
know
Dan.
he's so he's offered them up, and we're taking them up on his offer, and we're going to go to that game, sit in some club seats, and letting Kev watch his Knicks probably get tortured into the ground by 20. But that's besides the point, though.
Well, it depends on if
Yeah.
like Embiid and Harden are playing, you know.
By February 10th, I assume all of them should be playing. I don't think they'd not be playing.
That's true. And then in March is the epic trek to Boston.
It's going to be so much fun.
Oh my God. Kevin and I are going to go watch the Celtics take on the New York Knicks. And like Cyrus just said, most likely get blown out by 20 plus points.
Oh my God.
Because Rob Williams will be 100% healthy by that point. Time
yeah.
Lord is back.
But yeah, that's going to be so much fun. I'm excited to get those going, get that footage in, and we're going to have a good time. We're going to rock out.
We're going to have a lot of additional videos, a lot of additional, material being shot out there. So everyone keep an eye out as we continue to progress. This thing is not stopping anytime soon at all.
Nope.
I think the biggest one that we'll have is for the We Out Here section is next year for the Backyard Brawl.
Oh yes.
Like
that is going
that's going to be nuts.
Yes.
Let me just put it this way. My wife and I are coming back from West Virginia 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks ago now. And we're driving from Maryland back to New York, and we're talking, and I'm like, all right, so we need to start planning this because my friend is buying season tickets. She's going to buy 4. I'm going to have a season. We're going to split them. So I'll have season tickets for next year. And now the plan is we need to figure out the exact number of people going because we're going to order a buttload of group tickets. The idea, this is going to be great. We're going to rent an RV.
Oh my God. No way.
Hold on. We're going to rent an RV so that we can park in a good tailgate lot. We want to be able to I don't care if we're up at the Coliseum. I don't care if we're at Green Lot. I personally don't feel like being in Blue Lot. We went through it and it's such a crazy time. It's just too much. I want to just be able to enjoy tailgating with everybody and have my spot set up and not leave. People can come to me if they want to see my beautiful, ugly mug. So we'll do that. But also the thought is to get an Airbnb. Okay.
That sounds really good.
So if someone doesn't want to drive in the RV with us, they can drive. That gives us a car, right? But we can have the Airbnb almost be like the home base. Okay, guys, we're all staying here tonight. We're all going to hang out here. That's it. 10 of us, 11 of us, however many people come, we're going to try to fit all in the Airbnb. Just going to have a
hell of a time.
Oh yeah. Right now, if I do the math right, it's myself, my wife, the producer, my buddy Paul, Kevin, Cyrus. So there's 6 of us in the RV.
So it means me and Kev, I'm gonna have to get my my Dove V gear up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to.
Oh, don't worry. No. We're getting there a day before the game is supposed to happen, so that you have the time to go get your shit.
Oh no. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that there's other resources I have. I have other resources to get that stuff. So yeah, go take care of that.
Yes.
Okay.
I think I'm very excited for that. That's gonna be fun because I think I have another two people that would like to go, but I don't know if they're firm yeses as much as Cyrus is right now. But yeah, it's gonna be crazy because it's in Morgantown. That's
It's gonna be so bad.
that's gonna be a movie, like legit movie. And I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna be prepared, but it's gonna be a fun time. I'm excited, but I know that's gonna be down the hall. We'll probably talk more about that towards when we're in the spring, but we're definitely gonna be
Yes.
ready.
We will have tickets the day those tickets go out. We will be buying. I don't care if I have to throw it on my credit card or someone throws it on the credit card and we pay them back. Whatever we do, we'll be buying with the exact amount of tickets we need all together so that we can all sit together. Because what I'll probably do, honestly, is I would most likely sell my 2 season tickets for that day to make up the money.
It didn't pay. It didn't sit with everybody else.
And then sit with everybody else. I asked my wife, I was like, do you want to sit there or would you want to sit up there? And she's like, I'd rather sit. I'm like, that's what I would like. I would rather sit up top with all of everybody or wherever.
Everybody going nuts.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to drag like Andrew out of there. He might die.
Maybe.
He's a young guy. He'll be okay.
Cyrus, you haven't met him? He's the size of my pinky.
He lit at 30 feet tall.
Okay, well, we'll find a pole to stick him in and make sure he stays there for a little
We'll
while.
We'll find what? A hole?
We'll find a pole or a hole to stick him in, so he'll be fine.
Andrew, you're gonna love when you hear this. I love it.
Oh boy. Don't let your
Listen,
mom
I got
and dad
nothing
hear
but
this
love
one.
for the guy. I'm just saying,
Oh,
if he's real thin like this, I mean, you'll find a way.
He will. No, we will.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot coming up for this one. I know tonight's episode everyone has been all over the place because we found out the news of everything kind of changing this afternoon. And Kevin and I are going back and forth and he goes, "We could do this." I'm like,
we talk about all of it.
I'm like, I just like the idea of like just going with the flow and just see what the hell happens with this episode. Like,
yeah,
it was just he and I, we probably would have written something really quick. But since we have Cyrus, why not?
Look at it this way. At least I haven't posted anything on Twitter that's going to get me in trouble, right? So I'm good about that.
Yes, you're good.
I responded back to Elon Musk one day. I'm still on Twitter. He didn't delete my Twitter yet, so I haven't said anything mean enough.
Oh my gosh, you guys are.
I am trying though. I am trying very hard to like figure out what will set him off to get my Twitter like deleted.
Oh my goodness.
What? I thought it'd be fun.
But it's funny because do you remember like last week how they were all like, "Oh, this is gonna be my like last tweet. Twitter's gonna die." I'm like, bruh.
Twitter ain't dying.
Nobody's gonna listen. Everybody has to stop getting. Everybody in the world has to stop getting into this fact. Oh, he said, so what? Listen, if he took Twitter away, somebody else will invent something else that's the same as Twitter that you'll go on, and then you'll be the same thing again, and he'll try to buy that.
It'd be called like Hoots. I don't know.
Yeah, something.
I almost said Hooters, but I was like, that's already taken. Wait a minute. That's already been taken by somebody else. Silly me. I can't remember things these days.
So, Mary, how do you feel about Kyrie Irving?
I hate him.
Tell us how you really feel.
No, right.
I thoroughly dislike him. And I say that, and I have his Celtics jersey. I'm never going to wear it. It's just going to sit in a box now, never be touched. I have a pair of his basketball shoes that are, honestly, I will have to say, one of the best basketball shoes I've ever worn. They're very, very comfortable. He did a very good job making them. As a human being, the man has something up in his head loose. To a degree. And anyone could say whatever they want. I don't care if you hate my opinion on it. You don't like my opinion. Gotcha. Do not care.
Gotcha.
Called my opinion, not yours.
Right.
I just think the whole situation got worse and worse as everything progressed. I agree with the Nets suspending him and giving him a list of 6 things, right? It was a list of 6 things he had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Not hard items to do.
No.
It was have conversations with people, donate money, do the right thing, come back and basically say, hey, I messed up. I apologize for what I said, how I said it, and me not backing down. That's all he had to do. I hated the fact that there's other NBA players that came out and were like, well, what he has to go through is too much. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding that you have the audacity to say that him having to go talk to Jewish leaders, to Adam Silver, to other people to understand what he did was wrong and what he said was wrong is too much? Then what the hell's wrong with you? I think that's what my biggest gripe now is. Like, I don't like Kyrie. I will boo him profusely in 10 days.
Right.
And I'll probably lose my voice doing it.
We'll have it on video. I can't wait.
There will be video of me doing that.
You should ask for his jersey at the end of that game to see if he gives it to you.
And just like have a lighter with me.
No lighter, please. Thank you.
It can't go into the stadium.
That is true. They would already confiscate
Kev wants to go back to that. He wants to go back to that stadium every now and then, Mary.
I do too. I've been to Barclays. It's beautiful. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, I will say Barclays is a great venue for basketball.
Yeah.
And I love the fact when you walk in,
you
can see the practice courts downstairs. I love that. I think that's the coolest thing. But yes, that's my opinion. I think he should have been suspended longer, truly. But he served 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
He's back. He came out. He apologized.
Right.
All right. He did the right thing. Let's move on. Okay.
Right.
But at the same time, don't forget what he did. Right. We can't just say it's water in the bridge, where rainbows and sunflowers and all that sunshine kind of stuff. Because it's not. He still needs to remember the consequences that he had for what he used, for the wording and the stuff he used.
So you want to know something? So me and my brother have gone back and forth this, and my wife is sitting over here. She's probably getting real sage. I've heard her talk about this for 2 weeks already.
She's probably going to take a shoe off and smack you upside the head or something.
No. She loves me. She wouldn't do that to me.
Right.
But as I told my brother, I said, listen, he may have key valid points to some of the stuff that he was trying to say. I don't know. Again, I looked at some of it. Honestly, to me, I am not one of those people. And Kev be the first one to tell you, I'm not one of those people. I don't look at stuff like that. I'm very gray area type of deal, because everybody has a different point or a different view of things going on in their life. So, Mayor's view may be different from mine. Kez may be the same as mine. I don't know. I can't really care about that. I could just take it in, understand it, and then maybe look at the broad scope, look at the bigger scope of things. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way I am. That's the way I am. But, I think the biggest thing for all the stuff that happened is because it's a continual pattern that he's had since he's been in the league. And I'm not going to say since he was in Cleveland and with Boston, because I think those things were me things. Those were things that were his things that he did for himself that made him look bad, not for the team.
Right.
He came to Brooklyn, it became everything was about him and the team. And then he made it about him and the team when these things happened. So now the team is discussing the things about what's happening, not why Kyrie's doing it. And I think to the point they got fed up because they weren't winning. You weren't winning. He wasn't playing. You weren't doing your job. And if you really take it down to like the common denominator of everything, right? It's been you haven't been at work. That's been the thing. And it hasn't. And that's really hard for people to understand. And I think everybody's sitting there going, oh, but it's because the list was too long. Like you said, Jaylen Brown was saying the list was too bad. He should have never. Hey, listen, I'm not sitting at the saying that the list didn't have validity. Yeah, some of the things on the list seems like there's a little bit a stretch. But again, if this is not the first, second, or third time or fourth time they've had to deal with him on some other stuff, then then he has to now understand and learn that you can't do these things for that's going to affect the team, because you're supposed to be part of the team. You already main cog in this team. You and KD came in to be a big part of this team. I can't have you doing this because you are the face of my team. Right. So, yes, do I think the list might have been a little bit stretched? Yeah, but again, if you're telling me that you need to do these things for you to understand that you're a part of a team, and there may be things that you maybe have to sacrifice for the team, maybe this is the way for you to learn. I don't hate I don't hate him by any stretch, but at the same time, I think he needs to grow up, because you're getting paid multi-million-dollars to play a game that most of us would gladly, like we said on this podcast, gladly sit on the bench and get paid $2 million to go play, right?
I'd look really good at sitting on the end of a bench.
I'm just saying.
Just saying. I would look great.
Listen, their scheme is black and white. I mean, I could fit anything on the black and white scheme. I mean, hey, so, I mean, so to get to that point, to get to that point where they're telling you, listen, and then on top of it, when you did have the chance to get a contract, nobody else wanted you, and you had to come back to the Nets. Nobody wanted you. You had to come back to the Nets and opt in on your deal because nobody else wanted you. So now, what does that say about you? And now we're giving you a chance to right yourself, and maybe we'll give you some money or sign you a long-term deal. And now you don't want to. You don't want to just do the right thing. And all anybody was asking was, yo, listen, when you come after putting this on there, and you knew that maybe you came across the wrong way, maybe you just need to say it a little bit differently, or maybe you just need to apologize, and eventually he did, but it was like a week after the fact. It can't be the week after the fact. I'm asking you now because it's just bad timing. You have the Kanye thing, and now it's just bad timing, dude. You shouldn't have done it then. If you were going to do it, wait a couple weeks after Kanye's thing dies down, then you could post whatever you're going to post, and then we'll find a way to work around it. Didn't do that. So, and you took a week to figure out to say, how you say it, how you apologize. It's just tough. Listen, me and Kev worked at a job where your opinion, you have an opinion about some stuff, but for the sake of the company, you have to go, yeah, okay. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself.
Yep. Man, all been there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's like with him, it was number one, like I said it on the previous podcast, like the whole thing was just entirely handled poorly in every single direction, so like with everything being done, Kyrie served his suspension. I think from now on, I think it's just time, like you mentioned, Cyrus, it's time to go back to work, time to do what you're getting paid for, play the game. And I don't want to say he should try to move on, because I don't think it's gonna be hard for him to move on. And I think this whole lasting impact that Kyrie did this past year, or the last couple years, he needs to do a lot to like save his name, in my opinion. Like he's soured a lot. He's put a lot of sour taste in a lot of people's mouth. And now,
note people, just to say this, we're not saying for him to just shut up and dribble. We're saying just to say, as Kev is saying, we want you to come out and play basketball. If you have some other agendas that you want to talk about, please do them in the right form, so that you can voice your opinion.
And when questioned about whatever you post or whatever you say, because you are a social media person now, like anyone else, right, and you are a public figure, have the audacity to have the conversation.
Right.
Mhm.
That's all you need to do. That's
Yeah.
it. That we're not saying that
Absolutely.
he needs to do anything but really be a human being and
Right.
be
Mhm.
understanding that there's going to be consequences and questions asked of you. But with that, let's jump off of him. Kevin, I want to talk about your jersey because that looks amazing.
Oh yeah,
That's the
absolutely.
best. That's the best
So
looking jersey in the world.
I
Right
had
there, man.
another outfit planned for our wrestling episode, but because our wrestling episode is just going to be postponed a little bit, most
Like, were you
likely
going to have like a
towards.
cutoff like shirt and like bandanas and stuff? Like, I want to see that side of Kevin wrestling
Actually,
episode.
I have it when we do the wrestling episode. I have a surprise, but I'm not going to tell you right now.
All right, that's okay. But so I had another, like I said, I had another outfit planned, but since Cyrus is the only one on, I wore this for him. He's a 49ers fan. One of the GOATs. I would personally say maybe top three wide receivers ever. Jerry Rice.
I would tell you, I would say he's number one. The only other guys that would probably come near him right now would be Steve Largent and Randy Moss. Chris
Yeah.
Carter is definitely up there in the top five, but
I would almost say Terrell Owens and Randy Moss are pretty close there too.
That's who, in my opinion, like the top three is between those three: T.O., Randy, and Jerry.
I would agree.
They all just changed the way you played wide receiver and the way you had to guard a wide receiver.
I'm right, and I agree that Terrell. I mean, honestly, I think Terrell is a top 5 receiver. The only thing I think that really takes it away is that he's never won a championship or been on the championship team.
He was on the Eagles that one year.
Yeah, but again, at that point, he got there, he did everything, and then he imploded himself again. And it's nothing against his talent. It's just talent at some point in time. Your attitude outweighs your talent at some point in time. Because just like you said, Barry, you have to be humble sometimes to take what's going on. You sometimes you just got to be humble. There's no, you just got to be humble. Listen, I don't think. Listen, I think Don McNabb just had as much as to go with the T.O. situation as T.O. did. But at some point in time, you got to be humble, right? You wanted your money. You signed a bad contract. And yes, Don McNabb should have backed you up, but like he did Brian Westbrook and go into the office and say, pay you just like Westbrook? Yes. Should he have not been like, I really don't need him here in order to accomplish our goal? No. But as everybody can see, Don McNabb is not paying for all those things that he's saying now, because now nobody really, other than Philly, other places he went, nobody really, liked him as a quarterback. He was okay as a quarterback. They were saying he was a decent guy. He just doesn't really fit what we want to do. And they moved on from him. So,
But yes, that was my jersey this week, guys. And also, real quick, we needed to go ahead. That is the 75
patch.
Yes.
I like that.
I remember when this came out, I was like, I need it with that 75 patch because I have to be difficult like that and be different. So
you
got it.
Never
got it. I'm excited. Jersey just fits right on the top. I just got to make sure I keep my body like this. So
what size is that, Kev?
You to fit. This is a large. This is a large. I look like show off my muscles a little bit. Trying.
I can fit a large. I think a large. I was gonna try to do an extra large one of those jerseys, but I gotta the game jersey. So the 3 types. Was it 4 types now, Kev?
So there's the game. There's the replica. Then there's the legend, the limited, and then the authentic. So this is the limited as it's stitched. And of course, that's what I like to always get, the stitched ones. But if I need to get the replica ones, I will, because of course they're cheaper. And you guys know how extensive my jersey collection is, in which I did add a couple more. So
I'm still waiting for the video. Still waiting for the video.
Don't worry, it will happen whenever I have some time off. I will do it.
Hey, Merritt, I feel as if Kev was to ever move out of his house and decided to go move to a place, he would just have to have room just for his jerseys and sneakers alone.
Oh no.
No. That's the plan.
That's already planned.
Yeah, I need a showroom of like the jerseys and all of my shoes, and then if I have somehow get a significant other, that will maybe split it 60-40.
But you know what though, Kevin, you have to get rid of all the shoe boxes and put them into actual like displays.
I know everybody says that, but like I am such a traditionalist that like I'm big on everything.
Good. It does
honestly, Kev, you do have to get rid of boxes. I tell you why.
You have to get rid of them.
I actually had the same situation. One of the boxes, literally, it just
collapsed.
After a while, yeah, it just collapsed. It's just really tough. But what I'm going to say is, if you do go with a display case, you got to make sure you get ones that actually seal them up tight, because that oxidation does wear on the sneaker. I did have that happen once or twice.
I appreciate all of the advice. You guys are
all
great.
The concerns about your sneakers.
Yes. Merritt, your hat today.
So this is the hat I wore last week, but
That's what I figured.
Vomiting.
You were dying.
So I didn't get to talk about it. But
Digi-camo.
I know. I love the Digi-camo West Virginia hat. I got it when I was down in Morgantown a couple weeks ago. I was like, could always go for a new hat. And I did. Got a nice new West Virginia hat here. It hasn't brought him luck except for winning that Oklahoma game.
Hey.
Otherwise, we'll see what happens this weekend against OK State. Kevin and I might be dropping on a podcast real fast at some point that afternoon.
Or that evening. Yeah. It seems very likely.
There's a very strong opportunity of that happening for sure. But that's all I've got. I don't want to keep rambling because it's like 9 o'clock at night, and I actually do need to get up.
Yeah, because you got to watch the football game.
I know. I just texted my buddy to make sure, to confirm yet again, I'm going over.
Mm-hmm. Did he answer you?
Yeah, he hearted it. He hearted the message.
All right. Well, he better be up if he's not up.
I want to see if he wants breakfast.
There you go.
Breakfast.
Is anything going to be open at that damn time?
Yeah, there's a place on the way to the gym called, and I'm going to shout them out, Bread Palace. So anyone that lives in Long Island or New York that lives near here should know who they are. They are open at like 4 a.m.
Wow.
Bro,
so nice.
I drive by there and it's open. I'm going, you gotta be shitting me. Like, there's no way your eyes open. Yep. Open. They do donuts, pastries, regular breakfast sandwiches, regular breakfast
in the morning though.
There's people called construction workers, Cyrus, that wake up really early to go to work.
Well, listen, other than construction workers,
that's their main clientele.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And my wife.
Shout out to you, Ash.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
That was good. I like that.
Oh my God.
All right, Kevin, did we miss anything? Anything you'd like to add on, throw in there?
Oh, you didn't let us know, how did your fantasy teams do this week?
I went 3-0.
Wow, nice.
I know. And the best
You're
part,
on a roll right now.
Yeah,
the best part, the league that I'm like doing the worst in, I played the kid who is crushing it. He's 10-0. Going to the final into Monday night's game, I'm like, oh God. He could technically win. I'm beating him by like 35 points. I go, yeah, he could actually come back and win this. DeAndre Hopkins and James Conner have a good game. I could definitely lose.
Mm-hmm.
Neither had that good of a game. I still won by 11.
Oh my God, it's amazing. Those are always the best.
I was so pumped. I was like, I'm the worst team in this league, and I just beat you.
Oh my God.
How would you do
that? Is the worst feeling being on the other end. I was 2-1.
Oh, that's good.
There is one league that I am starting to fall behind of being in the playoffs. So it is very crucial to me to win the waiver wire this week so I can get some better players. One of my teams, I lost Cooper Cup since he's on the IR. So, well, two of my teams, but at least the one team I still have. I have Jamar Chase and Marquise Brown waiting in the wings to finally recover.
Oh, Jamar
Along
Chase is
with
questionable now. He moving him.
yes,
Bye.
along with I have a Thielen from Minnesota and Lockett from Seattle. So some sort of rotation there hopefully helps. But yeah, two of my leagues, those two that I won last week, I've been consistent. I'm like one of the top seeds in the playoffs. So just gonna ride that wave as long as I can. And
Yeah,
fantasy basketball
yeah.
is we're lost 2 in a row, won 2 weeks in a row.
I forgot he had fantasy basketball.
So shout out to Noel. It's the league that I have we're in together.
The league that took 5 years to draft.
5 days to draft.
I was gonna say that.
But we're out here. We're drafted. My team is killing it right now. So like I just need to make sure like I get ahead of the game and like they are and I get a good lead and then I pretty much just win the week. So but yeah, that's my fantasy update this week.
Yeah, I lost mine. I'm on the one league and I lost the one game. But you know what it is, man. The one thing about fantasy that I'm truly starting to find out that I hate is that every week I'm sitting there. I got a team that averages about 125 to 130, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I have like a team that's going to like blow you away every single week. I'm like, I got a team that's going to keep me in there. Well, I'm probably going to win by 10 to 15 points, right? For God's sakes, I get everybody has their freaking
game of the week against you.
Career day. I'm like,
that's the worst.
I was like, oh, dude. And like in this league, there are a bunch of guys that I'm not saying that they don't know how to draft, but they don't understand the how like they don't understand like when you're drafting and you're drafting, you don't draft a homer player, right? You draft a guy that just is going to do better for you. And then towards the end of the draft, then you start drafting. All right, well, if I'm an Eagles fan, I'm going to take, I don't know. I'm going to take Pascal or whatever the guy's name is, or whatever, whatever that homer guy that really, he plays a little bit, but he really doesn't do a lot. You're going to take take him in the draft at the end, towards the end, something like that.
Hey, I wanted to take little Jordan Humphrey from the Patriots, but he didn't even make the practice squad. So it was a good idea not to take him.
Right. But yeah, I hate that. Yeah. So I lost this week. I mean, the guy wouldn't have had like a career day. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This guy goes off for he had like 4 touchdowns. As a matter of fact, I'll look and I'll tell you exactly what player it is. And you'll laugh.
Oh, is it? Tell me it's Samaje Perine.
No. that would have been crazy though.
That would have felt really bad if he like went off on you. That's messed up.
I know, right? Tony Pollard.
I love Tony Pollard. I have him on my fantasy team. Straight up the best pick I've ever had.
He averages anywhere from 10 to 15 points, 10, 15 points a game, which I get, right? Because he doesn't really get.
Week he went off for 40.
It's like, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh, that was great. He was on my team that helped me beat the 10-0 guy. So yeah. I like that.
My God, that's so crazy.
On 2 separate occasions, they let him walk into the end zone untouched, 60 yards. I'm like, you have to.
Well, also just remember, for some odd reason, the Vikings just decided to not show up that day. So, like,
hey, I want them to do the exact same thing on Thursday night.
Oh my golly!
I need the Patriots to win because we beat the crap out of the Jets and not even crap. It was such a horrible game to watch, but like the punt return was amazing. And the Jets only averaging 2.77 inches per play in the second half. Just makes me laugh.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a tale for another time. That kid needs to go. He's done.
Honestly, I'll say this real quick to make it go. I don't think it's truly him. Because if you look at LaFleur, that's the offensive coordinator for the Jets, and LaFleur, who's the head coach for the Packers, they both been doing craptastic the last 2 years. So I don't know if it's just because they don't have.
It's definitely him because LaFleur was his offensive coordinator, I'm pretty sure, at BYU.
Oh, he was?
I'm pretty sure either him or the quarterback coach was with him at BYU.
That's bad.
So yeah. He ain't the answer, Jets fans. So good luck finding a new one.
Another quarterback. I mean, it's like one every year for the Jets.
Hey, you know what?
Crazy.
They could have Justin Fields.
Who's their backup?
Flacco.
No, Flacco's on IR, so he's out.
It's
no, White. The kid White.
Yes, White.
Yeah,
White.
Saleh did not say yes or no to him starting this week.
I think his name is. I think it's
Mike
literally
White.
Mike White.
Yeah.
Mike White. Yeah.
Oh my
He's
God.
actually pretty good. I liked watching him last year play. He's good.
Oh
all right, Kevin,
God.
get us out of here because this episode actually was like 2 hours.
Hey, I knew it was gonna happen. That's why I was like, let's just like not write anything, you know. All right.
That's what we did.
Outro time, team. First off, just want to wish everybody that is listening and watching a happy Thanksgiving. It'll probably be past Thanksgiving by the time this episode may come out. So hopefully you guys enjoy and have a safe weekend.
Eat all this turkey and the stuffing that you can.
Yes, eat all the foods. It's okay. Your diet may stop for one day. It's good. So if you want to listen to us, we're on the streaming platforms. We got Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We are on Google Play. We are on Amazon. Feel free to watch us if you want to see our faces at our YouTube at the Manly Musings Podcast. Make sure you follow Merritt at his Instagram at Merritt_P. Follow Cyrus at his Twitter. Cyrus, present us your Twitter.
At CKJ1408.
CKJ1408. Hell of a name. Follow me at my Instagram at KQuaver624. Follow the podcast Instagram at the Manly Musings Pod. And that's all I got today. Bye, y'all.
Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody.